Remember when Spencer Rattler was considered the best quarterback of this class? Man, things sure do change when games are actually played. We are 1 month away from the NFL draft, and I thought now would be the best time to start my series of top 5 rankings of every position, starting with quarterback, the position group I have said many times this week, and after watching film on all of these guys, I still think it is a weak group. I still want to make my top 5 list and give my thoughts about each prospect, but before I do any of that, 99% of you guys that watch my videos are not subscribed. You can change that by subscribing to this channel and turning on the notifications so you know when I upload a video. I would also appreciate it if you guys gave this video a like. It helps my channel out a lot. Alright, let's do this. We are going to start things off with one of the 2 quarterbacks from the ACC that's getting a lot of attention. That ACC quarterback is Sam Howell from North Carolina. Coming out of high school, he was a consensus 4-star quarterback. Howell was offered many scholarships from Alabama, Georgia, Florida State, Michigan, and Oregon, but he would end up committing to North Carolina. He had a pretty good career there, taking them to 3 bowl games and leaving the school as the all-time leader in yards and touchdowns and putting up other impressive numbers. He did showcase many things that got many NFL scouts' attention, like his arm strength, athleticism, mobility, ball placement, how quickly he got the ball out, and his toughness. But he has a lot of issues. He isn't the best decision maker. He doesn't go through his progressions. His accuracy isn't the best as he tends to miss his targets. He forces throws, and whenever defenses get pressure on him, he doesn't handle it well. Some of these things are fixable, but I don't think he will do anything in the NFL. Even if he can improve his accuracy, I don't think his decision making is going to improve that much. He was never careful with the football during his time with North Carolina, and I don't see that changing. I think that is part of his game, and to me, he is a guy that will most likely end up as a NFL career backup quarterback. I know that sounds harsh, but it is what it is. But the reason he makes it to my top 5 is because he has better arm strength than the guys that did make it to the list. This player is getting some hype as the best quarterback in the draft, or at least a top 3 quarterback, but I do not think of this guy as the same. That quarterback is Matt Corral from Ole Miss. Coming out of high school, he was a consensus 4-star quarterback, and had scholarship offers from Michigan, USC, and my Gators. But thanks to a certain someone telling him to buzz off, he committed to Ole Miss, and although it got off to a rocky start, he would have a pretty good 4-year career there, leading them to 2 bowl games, which include a Sugar Bowl appearance, and finished top 5 in many school categories. And while he was at Ole Miss, he showed scouts many things to like about him, like how he got better of his decision making and how much more mature he's gotten over the years. He also showed them his athleticism, mobility, escaping from sacks, ability to throw on the run, releasing the ball quickly, ball placement, and handling pressure. His arm talent, athleticism, and improvement in decision makings are big reasons scouts and analysts like him, but I have good reasons for not thinking he's a top 3 quarterback. He does not have the best arm strength. Even though he is a better decision maker, he still makes some stupid passes. He still needs to be faster at going through his progressions, and he has accuracy problems as he tends to underthrow his targets. A lot of these things can be fixed, and you can build an offense around someone that does not have the best arm strength, like how the Saints built an offense around Drew Brees in his later years when his arm strength was regressing. But something that concerns me with him is the system he was a part of under Lane Kiffin. He ran a fast-paced tempo offense, which is meant to confuse defenses and get the ball out quickly, meaning a lot of quick passes, which isn't uncommon in college football. A lot of Kiffin's play calling also involved a lot of RPOs, which have worked well in the NFL, so there is no question Corral can fit some of those offenses. But the concern I have is how much did Corral benefit from it? Remember how I talked about his arm strength earlier and how he could build an offense around that? That's what Kiffin basically did with Corral. He never really let him throw it deep, and whenever he did, it wasn't really impressive. And thanks to Corral having such a quick release, Kiffin called a lot more quick and short passes than he did with deep passes. But the play calling Kiffin had while Corral was the quarterback makes me wonder if his arm strength is really that bad. Or is his arm strength good, but he is really inaccurate on deeper passes. But even though it seems like he has more concerns than Howell, the reason I have Corral above him is I think he is more talented, more careful with the football, and more athletic than Howell. And he can can be a solid starting quarterback in the NFL. I don't doubt that. But I don't think he is a sustainable option as a quarterback, unless you can improve his arm strength, which is easier said than done. This player improved his draft stock a lot in 2021. I made a video about this guy before and accidentally used the incorrect photo of him in the thumbnail and in my graphics. Hey, nobody's perfect, okay? I promise you I will use the correct photo of him this time. Who is this player I'm talking about? Well, his name is Picket from Pittsburgh. He was a consensus 3-star quarterback out of high school. He didn't get many offers from Power 5 schools. The offers he did get were Boston College, Iowa, North Carolina, and the team he committed to, Pittsburgh. Pickett started for them for 4 years. While at Pitt, he took them to 2 ACC title games, winning one of them, and took them to 3 bowl games. He also left Pitt as the all-time leader in yards and touchdowns and had other impressive numbers. He also showed the scouts many things to like about him: his decent arm strength, mobility, athleticism, ability to extend plays, going through his progressions, ball placement, handling pressure, and has a good release. But there are reasons why he isn't in my top 2. He can be inaccurate, he will take unnecessary risks, his decision making isn't the best, and he has small hands. This isn't that big of a deal to me since quarterbacks with small hands like Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes have done well, but his career fumbles at Pitt have some cause for concern. But you can improve your grip on the ball in the NFL, but his decision making is what really worries me. He improved in completion percentage over the years. That does show how much better he got at reading defenses, but he will still make some head scratching decisions. The interceptions have always killed him in his career and they never really got better. So I think that trait will stick with him, but I have him in my top 3 because he does a better job of going through his progressions than Corral and Howell does. He reads defenses better than both, and he is not as inaccurate as both Corral and Howell. This player is probably the most intriguing quarterback I have watched film on. He's considered to be the most polarizing prospect right now. I had a hard time properly ranking this guy. Who is this polarizing prospect? His name is Malik Willis from Liberty. In high school, he was a consensus 4-star quarterback. Just like Kenny Pickett, he did not get a lot of Power 5 offers. The only Power 5 schools to offer him any scholarships were Georgia Tech, Virginia Tech, and a school he committed to, Auburn. Willis spent 3 years there but never got the chance to start, so he decided to transfer to Liberty. While Willis was there, he was one of the most electrifying players in college football. He took Liberty to 2 bowl games and won both of them, and put up some nice career numbers. His strengths are a huge reason why some people have him as quarterback 1. He has an impressive arm strength, decent accuracy, outstanding athleticism, very strong, and is a really good runner. These strengths help his case for quarterback 1 of this draft. But then there are his glaring flaws. He does go through progressions better than most people think, but he tends to get stuck on the first read. He does not do the best job of reading defenses. He often misses an open target down the middle. Actually, let me rephrase that. He does not usually go to that area. He can make some stupid decisions. Even though he had a terrible offensive line, he did not handle pressure well, and would often try to make something out of nothing, and his mechanics could use some work. Now you understand how polarizing of a prospect he is. There is a lot to love about him, but also a lot to not love about him. Out of everyone I've mentioned in this video so far, he has the most to work on. The idea of drafting a quarterback like Willis is not an uncommon one in the NFL. Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, and Josh Allen are all good examples. They all had a lot to love about them, but a lot of things to question. And with good coaching, they have all given their teams a franchise quarterback. But you can say Willis has more worries than either of those guys did. But with good coaching, he could be the next superstar quarterback. The question is, how much can he improve on his weaknesses? And what can be improved with good coaching? Mechanics can be fixed in the NFL. Whoever drafts him will do everything they can to improve his ability to read defenses. I'm confident he will improve on those things, but his decision making, I'm not too sure about. I think his reliability on his legs will always be in his game. It will cost him in the NFL, just like it did in college. And his thing with not passing down the middle is a huge red flag. Coaches can help Willis with feeling more comfortable about passing down the middle, but even with coaching, is he still mentally not going to look at that area? Now you may be asking, why do I have a guy with that many glaring flaws in my top 2? He has better arm strength than any of the quarterbacks I have talked about so far, and he is more skilled than anybody in the quarterback class, and if he gets the development he needs and plays in an offense that best fits him, he could be a franchise quarterback. But some of the glaring flaws make me hesitant to call him the best quarterback in this class, at least to say he is better than the next guy on this list. And now for the number 1 quarterback of the 2022 draft class. His name is Carson Strong from Nevada. Coming out of high school, he was a consensus 3-star quarterback. And out of everyone in this video, he is the only quarterback not to receive any offers from Power 5 schools. In fact, the only FBS school he got an offer from was Nevada, and Strong would end up committing there. He took Nevada to 3 bowl games and put up impressive career numbers, finishing top 5 in those categories. At Nevada, he showed many things to convince people like me he is the best quarterback in this draft. He has the best arm strength in the class, he stays patient, good ball placement, goes through his progressions better than anyone in this class, accurate, a quick decision maker, and is very good with a clean pocket. The only concerns I have is he sometimes isn't the best decision maker, he tends to force some passes, he can be a little too patient, he is not mobile, and he does not have the best footwork. I do not think these things are going to be a problem for Strong. The decision making is not that bad, forced passes are not a common thing with him, being a little patient can be fixed, he does not need to be mobile in order to succeed in the NFL, and proper footwork can be taught. I really like Strong's potential. He has the best arm talent in his class, he is better at reading defenses and making decisions than anyone in his class, and his problems are not even that bad. Of course, I do think of him as a project quarterback. I do not see him getting picked above Willis, Picket, and maybe even Corral, but I think whoever gets him will get one hell of a steal in the draft. He will be a long-term starting quarterback in the NFL, and a pretty good one at that. That is my top 5 quarterbacks in this draft class. Let me know what you guys think about my list. I'm curious to know who your quarterback 1 is and why. You guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys later. Peace.